Peter Earle is with the American Institute for Economic Research. Tommy Aiello is the Senior Director with the Government Affairs at the National Taxpayers Union. Great to have you both here. I will start with you, Tommy. What could these port fees mean for consumers, considering that's all impacted here? We just heard what could possibly be impacted.
Yeah, tariffs and fees, they all add to consumer costs. At the end of the day, anything that China charges on U.S. ships or the U.S. charges on Chinese ships, they're going to be passed along to consumers. And we're already seeing that in the data, that things that coming from China are so much more expensive. In some cases, the importers are having to eat the tariffs. They're going to have to eat these fees. But at the end of the day, it's just going to mean more inflation and higher costs onto consumers. That's the problem with trade wars. They really go on and they can spiral quickly, just like we're seeing here.
It's a pretty fast-moving story, right? Because only a few days ago, you're refreshing Truth Social and you're seeing this 100% tariff on China. And then you hear something like this from President Trump himself. We'll play this soundbite. It was asked of the president just before he departed for the Middle East about China and tariffs. Let's watch.
But you saw the statement I put out that he had a bad day. And I think we're going to be fine with China. Look, I have a great relationship with President Xi. He's a very tough man. He's a very smart man. He's a great leader for their country. He's a great leader. And I have a great relationship with him. I think we'll get it set. I know what happened. I really understand what happened. And I'm not even saying he's wrong. But then we met him with something much tougher than what he did to us. Again, because of the tariffs, it's much tougher.
Peter, is this all the art of the deal, and this is sort of what goes on before something is inked and official?
Well, there's a lot of moving parts here. And, we're talking about one of our biggest, if not our biggest trade partner, where there's a lot of things that we get from them and we sell to them. So, there is a kind of a moment-to-moment adjustment that goes on here, whether it's threats or whether it's responses. I mean, two things we know for sure. And that the first is that there's never been a trade war in history where there wasn't this sort of one-upsmanship and retaliation. That's baked in. I'm actually kind of surprised it took this long for the docking fees to be imposed. That's usually an early part of the playbook. But also, as long as we have this uncertainty, it's going to put a lid on the willingness of small businesses to either hire or to, engage in the kind of capital expansion that they want to. So I understand that the president's trying to get the best deal. But I mean, the longer this goes on for with this sort of back and forth, the longer it's going to put a lid on the growth that we see and the potential that we have for growth at the present time.
Yeah, we're seeing that impact the stock market right now, but the president says he's got a good relationship with China. We'll see where it goes from here. Peter, Tommy, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.